Welcome back to 13 News at 4. We start this half hour with the growing political battle in one of our state's most closely watched congressional districts.
A Democrat hasn't won Indiana's 5th since 1990, but 7 candidates are now hoping to change that in the fall. Jenna Webster takes a look at why some see this as the one chance Indiana Democrats have to flip a seat in the House.
Here to vote?
Early voting in a primary midterm election
Sign your name at the bottom.
tends to be a trickle of voters rather than a rush to the polls. But in Hamilton County,
What, another 78 today? What did you say?
voter turnout so far is more than triple the turnout at this point in the 2022 midterm primary.
There you go, sir. Thank you.
One look outside the County Justice Center will tell you there's a lot of races and candidates to choose from.
Well, I'm 85 and I've voted in every one of them since I was 21.
We asked voters like Alan Hurley
Haven't missed a one.
the issues most important to them this election.
There's a lot of nonsense going on in the world and need somebody that's a straight shooter.
Issues like early childhood education funding and healthcare were popular answers.
I'd like to restore the funding for U.S. Agency for International Development. I'd like to restore the funding for State Department overseas programs.
I think the number one thing is just someone that appears to actually care what Hoosiers think.
Josh Lowry is the Hamilton County Democratic Party chair.
This is by far the most competitive primary we've ever had.
Hamilton County is part of the 5th Congressional District, which stretches north to Kokomo and Marion and east to Muncie. It's got a crowded primary. Voters have 7 Democrats to choose from, including State Senator J.D. Ford and Deborah Pickett, who won the nomination in 2024. The primaries in both 2024 and 2022 only featured 2 Democrats.
And the fact that you have so many candidates and also a range of candidates speaks to the enthusiasm that the Democrats have right now and the real opportunity they see in this particular race to try to flip what is one of 7 Republican congressional seats in Indiana.
Everybody is going to have differences of opinions on different issues, and I think that makes all the candidates have to address them. And it just makes everybody step their game up, honestly.
The winner will likely face Republican incumbent Victoria Spartz in November, who won her last 2 elections by 20%. The Cook Political Report marks 7 of our congressional races as a solid Republican win, but the 5th leans less Republican than others by 8 points. That's down from our last 2 elections when the nonpartisan agency estimated it leaned Republican by 11.
Victoria Spartz is somewhat of a controversial incumbent Republican. Some of her constituents have been upset she hadn't served on committees recently, which is one of the ways that you represent your district. And there have also been times where she has gone against the president, but then changed her mind and ultimately supported the president.
Political science professor Laura Merrifield Wilson says in a midterm congressional election,
Select your party.
the party in power fares poorly.
And the 5th congressional district typically has high socioeconomic status, tend to be more educated and informed voters, so they'll be much more responsive to the sensitivities of the political dynamics.
What could shape a more competitive fall race in the 5th
And then we're going to need you to sign at the bottom.
could also come down to voters in Hamilton County. It's shifted 28 points to the left since 2012, one of the most in the country.
Traditionally, people looked at this as a red county. We're not anymore. We're as purple as it gets. 46 to 47% of the vote last time was Democrat, and I believe this year it's going to be over 50%.
But first, Democrats have to narrow the field to 1.
Thanks for coming in. We appreciate it. And that young lady will get you to a booth.
In Hamilton County, Jenna Webster, 13 News.